I loved the concept from the beginning. I remember I got to meet with Michael before we started the show, and he showed me a picture of Alice and said, oh, this is going to be cool, and saw some of the concepts, and then we started getting into it. It's just conceptually a cool thing. You've got a hot chick turns into a badass robot. The tricky thing, of course, for that, though, is integrating those. It's one thing to go from a rigid body object that you can transform in a very mechanical engineering style and end up being a robot. Those sort of things go hand in hand. But here we're starting with an organic creature that has to become this very inorganic, mechanical robot.
And she always had this hair that was like these dreads that were hanging down, which were kind of nice, you know, because when she'd move, you get some nice movement in them. And real late in production, we were looking at the one shot where she transforms, and Michael was looking at the hair and he goes, she's like a Medusa. And once we took that hair and took it from hanging straight down and brought it up and made it part of her personality, the character just came to life.
Michael had said early on in the movie to us that, you know, in the first Transformers, he's done the transformations. You know, he really labored those, I think, for all the good reasons. How cool was it? Everything's transforming right in front of your eyes. But there are a couple of examples where it's a unique situation that we wanted to show it off, and I think that was one of them. And the other was Reedman.
Early on, Michael showed us the animatics on the Reedman microcon sequence, and he was in love with it. And he'd mentioned to us in one meeting too, he goes, I showed this animatic to Steven Spielberg the other day, and he gave me a high five. So right then it was, okay, this is a big one for him. You know, we got to knock this one out of the park.
Michael certainly, like all of us, found ways of using special effects to help tell his story. I don't really believe that Michael Bay is so effect-minded that the story is subordinate to the special effects set pieces. Just the opposite, Michael uses special effects to enhance his story.
Michael had set a tone of the behavior of the microcons, and he did this on set. In this particular case, he had a sheet with the ball bearings on it and these big old magnets, and Michael's underneath, you know, moving these things around, and you see that behavior in the shots prior. You see this sort of very staccato, jitterish-like behavior of the ball bearings. So that set the tone for us. We then took that idea and created a character that was this skittish, nervous creature, and you see that in the little pill bugs as they hatch out and they march off to assemble Reedman. But it came from a physical reality of shooting something on set, which is interesting.
So once we get the shot to a point where we feel like it sells the main idea and it's getting across all the main points we want to hit, then we're ready to show it to Bay. You know, his reactions can kind of vary. Sometimes we're a little bit off the mark from what he wants.
Don't you think it's a little fucking weird?
And sometimes we completely nail it.
Getting better.
Our transmissions with Michael are pretty entertaining. We usually have them 3 or 4 times a week.
It puts us right there in the room with him whenever he needs. It's a broadcast that's a live feed between ourselves in San Francisco and Michael in Los Angeles, where we show the work that we're doing and he comments on it.
This is a goat. We were talking about a goat right here.
We have these tablets where you can draw right on the screen, and he can draw and I can draw, Scott Benza can draw, to show what we're thinking the shot should be. If he doesn't like the design of the shot, he'll draw the size of the character, where the movement should be, where we might change the camera. Then we go again, we change it.
You see where you are right now? There's no way to make it counterclock, and we get kind of to this. You can go a little bit far and then come back to us, and we can get Ravage, spend more time of him clawing the face.
Typically, I would say the number of iterations that he sees on a shot would be less than 10, I would say, if we're lucky. Worst case would be something that, you know, goes into the 20 or 30 times that we need to show him.
No. I need to see my Facebook friend. Put him on video. Guy wants to be my Facebook friend. I do not. KG. Yeah. Are you my Facebook friend?
Yes.
Okay. Have I ever sent you any messages?
No. not yet.
That's because we're not friends, KJ. I'm just kidding, KJ.
Sometimes what we think needs to happen isn't what Michael thinks needs to happen, and he's pretty vocal about it.
Oy, oy, oy.
It's all wrong. We don't know what are you guys doing? I was very clear about this. This doesn't make any sense.
Coming back is weird. We're just wasting time, and it's not getting to the point. You flip the image, it definitely f***s everything up. This Megatron back there is so lame. Now, granted, you didn't spend a lot of time on this, correct?
No.
There's something about him. He just looks like a pinhead. Does anything with Megatron's arm? Does it do anything with a gun? It just sits there. It's just a big, ugly claw. Ay, ay, ay. No, I'm just thinking, you guys have a lot of work. A lot of work. Please.
I've had a few freakouts on this movie. My one freakout came, and I call the producer at ILM, his Wayne. I said, Wayne, any director right now would want to blow their effing head off right now, okay? How is this movie ever going to effing get done, okay? Please, I'm going to write you a check for $300,000 from my account. Hire more effing people. Anything, just anything to get me out of my misery.
Michael likes to joke with us on the transmissions. He asks about, like the other directors, okay, how many times has so-and-so come up? Well, they've come up 1 or 2 times. He comes up pretty frequently. He's come up pretty much every other week for quite a while.
He's very accessible, which is pretty rare. He'll wander into your office and ask you how it's going and how the shot's progressing that he knows you're working on, you're responsible for, you're supervising. And then, you'll say, well, I'll show you Tuesday, Michael, and you better have a version on Tuesday to show him.
It's cool. Where'd you get this?
Oh,
that's from the set.
I know that.
I don't know. I just want to know how you stole it. It's okay, it's fair game. You get to keep it. If you stole it, you get it.
We can spend a lot of time second guessing sometimes what something needs to be, and certainly what it needs to be in the final shot of a movie. And Michael is involved with our process to a degree that we can skip some guessing a lot of the time. It's a pretty direct path to the decision maker.
But just take a moment for the body to...
It's actually pretty encouraging and motivating to hear when he really does like something, or the fact that he is very open to ideas and for us to suggest things. Having him react and interact with us like that is actually part of, I think, what makes the show fun.
Here. It's like a plastic surgeon. Yes. And we're going to do your face like this and this, and then we're going to tuck it here and a little Botox there. Is there a way we can slow the film down just a hair bit, like right there, so you have like a little hang time.
A little more hang time?
Like that, so you can get a little more of the...
The animators do love having him come around. They do really enjoy the attention he gives them, and they do enjoy the show that he puts on.
Michael came up here and he was going around to different artists' desks talking about what he wanted, and I asked him, what do you think the staging for the shot would be? And he goes, here, well, let me show you it. He gets down, he's like, I want Optimus kind of curled up like this, and I kind of want him to roll over like this. Kind of like this, okay? I was just, truth be told, I was kind of taken aback by it. I don't really even remember, but later I had to ask Rick.